Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The opinions of hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect the opinion of this network.
You are listening to WBHM Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama. This is Ghost Talk with 187 PI. Sit back and prepare yourselves for an adventure into the paranormal world with host Shelly Robertson and 187 PI research team. Ghost Talk is broadcasting live from Ohio's most haunted jail. Learn about their ongoing research at the jail and abroad, investigation techniques, and their personal encounters. Here is your host of Ghost Talk and 187 PI founder, Shelly Robertson.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ghost Talk Radio. With me is your host, Shelly Robertson. And tonight I have a really special treat for you. I like to, every once in a while, bring in and do live interview with some of the most extraordinary people in the paranormal field that do a lot of investigating, have a lot of experience, and bring a lot to the table in the paranormal world. So tonight I have Ray Taylor, and he has a team called Spats Paranormal, and so interesting, and he investigates everywhere. So everyone, welcome Ray. Hey Ray, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Are you trying to keep warm over there?
Trying to.
Yeah, we got hit with some nice wintry weather here in the Middle East, and I'm ready for spring, actually. Anyways, Ray, I got a question for you. I'm thinking everybody will be interested in knowing. When did you actually get into the paranormal field?
We probably started the team probably about 8 years ago. Like most other people, I got interested in watching ghost adventures, ghost hunters, things like that. You always wondered, is that stuff real or is it made up?
Absolutely.
So I actually had a girl at work that her husband was real big into it. We were talking about it, and I said, hey, if you're going to go on one sometime that's close, let me know. I said, I'd like to try that one time. So I went one time, went to the Mansfield Reformatory, and I was hooked after that.
Oh, yeah, I've been there, and I've had some really weird experiences at the Mansfield Reformatory. Actually, that's really a pretty awesome place. So you got your team together about 8 years ago. How many people you have in your team?
That's a good question. We got probably 8 people that are active members.
Yeah.
And we got some others that joined when we first started the team. So I don't know if you want to still consider them team members or if you just have active and inactive members. I don't know how people look at that, but we got about 8 people that actually go quite a bit of the time.
And what would you say has been your most extraordinary experience, and where was it?
Oh boy.
I know you go to a lot of different places.
Yeah, we probably went to 30, 40 different places. Some of the most active places we go to that there's a lot of stuff in there. St. Albans Sanitarium down in Radford, Virginia, is real good. The last time we went down there, we didn't go last year because of the COVID. We went down the year before, and seeing 2 black masses in 2 different areas in the building. Seeing something else in one of the nurses' station. I don't know what it was. Got a lot of flashlight activity, a lot of EVPs. So there's definitely something in there. We try and get down there. Was trying to get down about every year.
Yeah.
And South Pittsburgh Hospital is another one that's got some bizarre happenings and stuff in it. Lemp Mansion is real good. Uh, every time we come to the Paulding jail, we always get good activity and stuff, good EVPs. So it's
Yeah, the
kind of
good
hard
old
to,
jail.
yeah, yeah, I love hunting up there. That's why I keep coming back. It's kind of hard to, single out one different place because I've had good activity at a lot of places.
Yeah.
I've gotten touched, oh geez, multiple times. Never pushed, never scratched, shoved, nothing where I felt endangered or anything like that. Just
Uh-huh.
kind of like walking into a cobweb or something like that type, being touched.
Yeah. Now, I will say, you mentioned the jail. Of course, I'm partial to that since that's my baby project there. But each time you come, they interact with you more. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, actually the last time I was there, almost quite a few places I went, and I made the mistake. I only went live one time, and that was in the area where they kept the female prisoners, and
Yes.
third floor in the kitchen. The flashlight went off and on command to questions for probably better than a half hour, and I just got caught up in doing that, so I forgot to go live. But it was going off and on pretty good in that cell block where they kept the women. The
Yeah.
second time I went to the basement, it was going off real good. I have got several EVPs that I'll let you listen to when I come back over.
Yeah. Well, I'll be interested in hearing them because I'm telling you, everybody gets lots of EVPs in the building. And sometimes, have you um have you ever heard a disembodied voice in the jail yet where you didn't need any equipment to hear it yet?
Uh, Not a voice. Last time I was there, I'm not sure if I was in the basement or where I was, but it sounded like somebody was dragging furniture across the floor above us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, I'm like, what the
Yeah.
heck was that?
Well, maybe the next time or two that you're in the building, maybe the sheriff will talk out to you because when he gets pretty friendly with them, he will actually speak out and you can hear him with your ears. And every time he does that, it startles me because I'm not so expecting it, but it startles me every time. You think I'd be used
Oh,
to it, but it's startling.
yeah, with you owning the place and being in there all the time,
Yeah.
yeah, real familiar with you. Probably feels comfortable talking to you and stuff.
Yeah, well, they're
I think
getting pretty comfortable they're starting to get really comfortable with you now too, Ray.
oh, I love going there, especially my favorite place is down there in that basement.
My brother, that is his favorite place in the building. And now me, I like the third floor because I get a lot of interaction in the third floor for myself. And um, Toby likes the basement. He gets a lot going on down there for him. Uh, More recently, we was running the voice recorder through our laptop through Audacity, and we were recording The Office live. And we were sitting in there, and the sheriff was talking to us in the office, which was a little shocking because he doesn't normally talk to us in there. So we were a little shocked. But we found that if we was using the voice recorder with the Audacity program on the laptop, we could hear it as it was happening through that program on the laptop speakers. It was pretty interesting way to do the EVPs. Like we didn't hear him with our ears. We heard him through the the recorder and through the Audacity audio application. It was really, really interesting. You got some places you're going to be going to here coming up too. You're coming back to the jail. Where else are you going to go this year so far? You got on your
So far,
on your
I've got it's called the Old Stimson Hospital, and it's up in Eaton Rapids, Michigan. If you look at it, it looks like an old mansion, but I guess back in the day, it was an old hospital. And I actually just run across it by accident this year and got a hold of them. So we got that booked for April 11th. And then just the other night, I booked the 6th precinct, which is up in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh,
so I got it for so we're doing back-to-back hunts that weekend. So neither one of the places we've been to before. So I'm always look forward to going to new places, but I always like going back to places I've been to before that I've gotten a lot of activity.
Yeah.
So I try and mix a little bit. I got of course, we got the Paulding Jail booked. I got Fairfield County Infirmary booked.
Oh, yeah.
Down on the other side of Columbus. And got the Crown Point Jail in Crown Point, Indiana booked.
Now,
so
is
far
that one?
here.
Is the Crown Point? Is that with the circular cell block? Is that one got the circular cell block?
No, that
Okay.
one don't have the circular block. That's the one that John Dillinger used a fake gun or whatever to break out of.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty cool jail. Don't really look that big, but it's the whole block goes through to the next block, so it's long.
Yeah.
And they get quite a bit of activity and stuff there. So it's a nice little jail to go hunt. Try and go back there every year.
Well,
we're getting ready. Go ahead.
I've been hearing you said you're going to go to that 6th precinct in Detroit. I've been hearing that they're getting a lot of activity there.
That's what they said. I tried to get a hold of the guy last year, and he didn't get back with me. So I tried again this year. He got back with me, and since I was going to be up in Michigan the 11th, we booked it for the 10th, so we can just do a back-to-back while we're up that way. If I'm going, that's only a couple-hour drive, but like if I go out west or something to hunt a place, we try and book, or I do all the booking. So I'll try and book 3 or 4 places while I'm headed out that way, so I can hit several places. Make it worth your trip out there, especially if you're driving 8 or 9 hours, to go to a place.
Oh, absolutely. And then when you come back, you're worn out from all them up all nights.
No, so I work a swing shift, so I'm used to being up all night. In fact, I work all. So
yeah.
And I'm
That's
a night
nice,
person, but I'd rather sleep during the day and be up all night.
Well, sometimes, I make it, I'm up really, really late, and sometimes I'm not. It just depends.
Well, I've always worked a kind of a messed up shift all my life.
Yeah.
I don't getting up early in the morning, but sometimes I have to.
Right.
But yeah, I've always been. I like staying up. Not so much anymore, watching movies and stuff. But I'll stay up a lot of times all night. I'll listen to EVPs. I'll try and go through videos. You don't have the noise coming from outside. It's nice, peaceful, quiet. So, and if you're used to working all night anyway, sometimes you can't sleep, so you don't have a choice. You're awake all night.
So what would you say, Ray? I know you've been to a lot of places, but is there a place that you'd like to go to that would be like on a bucket list that you haven't been able to go to yet?
Well, I got a whole bunch of them. You keep thinking your bucket list is going to get smaller, but as I find more and more places, mine's getting bigger and bigger.
I know.
Yeah, I'd I don't know if they do private ghost hunts, but I'd love to go through the Winchester house.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. I'd love to do Alcatraz.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other prisons out west. The old Idaho prison I'd love to go through. And Destination Fear, I think, done an episode there. So I'm going to check and see if they actually offer private ghost hunts.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
And there's another one, I think Arizona State Prison or something. There's one out there, too, that I know Ghost Adventures have done episodes there. So I just got to find out if they actually offer private ghost hunts.
Yeah, so go out west and then plan a whole 3-4 days worth.
Yeah, just a whole week, because Idaho's, I know it's a heck of a drive. I'm not sure how many hours. But, yeah, those are some of the places. Eastern State quit offering private ghost hunts, but we are going to go over there. Me and a friend of mine are going to go over there this year and do like a daylight tour, just so I can say, get some pictures and stuff.
Well, run your voice recorder. Run your voice recorder while you're taking the tour. You never know if you'll get some EVPs.
You have to do it and not let them know, because they don't allow that anymore. They're trying to get away from the paranormal part of it and focus more on the history, which, whatever, that's what they're deciding to do at this point. Maybe they'll change their minds.
Yeah. Well, there was, I think didn't they stop when the COVID started? They stopped doing their ghost hunts, I think.
Don't quote me, but I'm thinking early last year they stopped, or maybe it was the year before, because I got a hold of them trying to book a private investigation, and they said they don't do that anymore. So, you never know with a lot of these different places. You got to try and get in them, because you never know if they're going to end up getting torn down, if they're going to quit doing the ghost hunts and stuff. So, I try and get in.
And that's a sad shame too, because excuse me, some of them do get torn down. I mean, one I did 11 years ago now, back in 2012, I think it was. Or no, 2011. Yeah, it was 2011. 10 years. I did Black Moon Manor up here, and I was investigating with the guys from TAPS, and a lot of history on that place, and a lot of kids buried on the property and stuff. Well, so much stuff happened on that property that the owner decided to tear the building down, because they were convinced it was demonic, And so that place is no longer around.
There was and I don't know if it's still up. You find searching the internet, stuff like that, you find a lot of places that they claim, or they say they're haunted. And there was an old hospital in, I think it was Indianapolis, that it had closed down. Supposed to be super haunted, but they would not let anybody in there. They had the fence around it and everything else. And I talked to the guy that was in charge, and he said they had plans to tear it down. I'm thinking, what a waste, Man, I'd like to at least get in there and hunt one time before that happens, but they wouldn't allow people in there, and I don't know if it ever got tore down or not.
Matter of fact, it did not. And Vincent has a contact. He's friends with one of the guys that is a relative of the owner. And we were talking about this not too long ago, because they were going to let us in there. And if we get that to come about, Ray, you'll be more than welcome to come along on that investigation. But yeah, I know exactly the place you're talking about, and we were just talking about maybe going to be getting in there, and they have not torn it down yet.
Hopefully they. But they're not going to go in there and fix it up because it would cost too much money. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
whoever owns it, is probably paying taxes on it and everything else.
Oh,
So
sure.
get
Sure.
a chance, get in there before somebody finally does decide to tear it down.
Yeah.
There's an old prison too down in Tennessee. Same thing, that they closed it down, and they don't know what they're going to do with the building. Don't quote me. I think it might be Tennessee State Prison or something like that. I'd have to look it up again. But yeah, they don't know what to do with the building. They talked about tearing it down. They won't let anybody in there. At least they wouldn't a couple years ago. So yeah, there's another one. Man, I'd like to at least have the chance to go in there and investigate one time.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine that run another prison down there, Brushy Mountain, were in contact with them, and they were trying to talk to them about letting them, go ahead and run ghost hunts and stuff. But I don't know whatever came of that because I haven't asked them here for a while.
Well, and with that, folks, we are up for a short break, and we'll be back after this short message. You are listening to Ghost Talk Radio on WBHM-DB.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama. Since 1948, Fate Magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting. You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
We are confident that none of our hosts are possessed. Being repossessed a few times? That might be a different story. You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelly Robertson. And tonight I've got a special guest who's got a lot of experience in the paranormal field, and it's Ray Taylor. And he has a paranormal team called Spats. And folks, if you missed the first part of the show, no worries. You can listen to the full show archive on Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, and iHeartRadio, plus many others. We're even on Deezer. I will tell you, whatever platform you have, we're probably there. So we were talking about some really interesting places prior to the break, and you were just telling me about another hospital. Is that right, Ray?
Yeah, there's another prison up there in Chicago that's closed down. They only want to let you hunt for a couple hours. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to try again because I don't want to hunt a couple hours. I want to hunt all night, especially as big as the place. There is an old hospital down in West Virginia I just heard about also that we haven't hunted before. It's down in, I think it's Williamson, West Virginia.
Huh.
I'm going to try to call them a couple times last week and nobody answered the phone. So I'm going to try and continue to get a hold of them. If they don't answer, I guess I'll just email them. And they got a price as far as how long you get a hunt and stuff. I just need to try and get a date set, so we can go down there and go ahead and book that and hunt it.
Yeah. The what is it? Moundsville in Virginia, I think. They're going to be doing, speaking of prisons out south there, they got a Paracon coming up in September. The fella that organizes it just emailed me, and they're going to be doing hunts out of Moundsville Penitentiary there in Moundsville, Virginia. And we might go out to that Paracon. We're mulling it over. We might go out to that one. I'm not quite sure yet, but we will be going back to the Ohio State Reformatory one. That's a really good place to go to.
I was planning on going to that one. A friend of mine, the same weekend, has the McIntyre Villa booked, which is out in Kansas, and didn't realize it was on the same weekend. So we actually had it booked last year. Decided not to go because all the riots and stuff they were having. Didn't want to get caught in the back. So we actually had 4 places booked for that weekend. We was going to do 4 hunts in 4 days. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do yet there. I was going to book a couple more hunts along with that one and do like 3 hunts while we're out there. So yeah, I'm still working on that right now.
I know you said you were going to go to the Fairfield Infirmary. His funny story. Right when I bought the jail back in 2015, I didn't own the jail maybe 2 months. This fella sent me an email and he said, hey, the Fairfield Infirmary was for sale. They were wanting to sell it so they wouldn't have to tear it down. He's like, would you be interested in taking on that project? I'm like, oh. I just bought this jail, and at the time the jail was just full of stuff, and there was no way we could let the public in it yet, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But he sent me a whole video on it, and I looked at it, and the history of that place. You're going to have a great investigation there. I'm telling you, the history of the place, with it have been a poorhouse, an orphanage, an insane asylum. I am telling you, I am sure. I would bet you'll get all kinds of activity out of that place. And I'm like, it needed quite a bit of work. It's a really good sized property. And I was like, man, I hope somebody gets it so they don't tear it down. I just wasn't in a position to get it, And
yeah.
So I'm really glad that somebody did get it. They're letting people in for investigations. They're going to have their first Paracon there this year. I'll be at that one. I'm just really glad that they were able to save it from being tore down,
There again, that's the way with a lot of them places. Somebody having the money, and then, of course, to have, private ghost hunts and stuff, run people in there, you got to go through a bunch of red tape and have different things in place, before you can let in them and stuff. So, yeah, sometimes there's a lot of red tape you got to go through to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I'm glad somebody took on the project. It's a pretty good sized building and a pretty good sized piece of property there. So I'm like,
I think it's the guy that owns Madison Seminary is the one that bought that place too. So he's got both.
Okay, I didn't know who had it, but I knew it was somebody got, and that explains why they're running the Paracons the people that are organizing the Paracons are doing both places, Madison and Fairfield. So um, that explains that if he owns both properties. But that's great. I haven't been to Madison yet. Have you been? You've been there, right, Ray? Yeah.
Yeah, there a couple times, and like most places, you never know when you go if it's going to be active. You know, the one night that you're there.
Yeah.
So most places I try and at least go 2 different times to give it the benefit of the doubt. And if I go a second time and I don't really get anything, chances are I may not be going back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go back if other people, want to go or something. I'll just go ahead and book it because they want to go, and then I'll go ahead and go. But yeah, some places some places will skip a year or two when you're booking hunts. Of course, the bigger hunts that you book, you have to try and find more people to go
Oh,
because
yeah.
try to cut expensive places.
Right.
So yeah, this year I'm going to try and not book too many of the bigger places, so I don't have to have, I can get by with 4 to 6 people. I don't have to come up with 10 or 12.
Well, and I
Got a lot
think
of people.
with the smaller groups, I think you get a better chance of having, capturing the activity if you have smaller groups. It's less contamination. It's a little more controlled that way.
Yeah, that's what I like, and that's why I like to do private hunts. So it's just like whoever's with your group that night is in
Yeah.
there. We always, usually break off into smaller groups, 2, 3, maybe 4. I'm not real big on hunting with more than about 3, I think, because then you get too much talking back and forth and things like that. And I love getting EVPs, so and I've done that too at different times where you kind of get caught up, and next thing you know, you're just carrying on a conversation back and forth, and here you got
Right.
your recorder. So yeah, the less people you got, the less chance you have of that happening.
Yeah, and sometimes when we do public hunts, I always ask who has been on a ghost hunt and who hasn't, and we try to put, because I like to teach people some of the stuff. So I will kind of separate the people because people that are new into ghost hunting don't understand that even fishing around in your pocket messes up EVP sessions. So I try to kind of separate them and give them a little one-on-one training, the newbies. And
Yeah,
that way it makes for a good experience for experienced ones that come and new people who come. That's what we try to do. So we don't have a bunch of uh, really new people with more serious people who are actually there trying to catch everything they can catch. Um, what
that's the
would you
deal with. Go ahead.
what would you say? What's your favorite pieces of equipment, Ray? What would you say it is?
I used to, over the years, I bought every time something new come out. I bought all kinds of equipment and stuff, and you've only got 2 hands, so there's only so much you can carry at a time.
Yeah.
I've got to the point where I take a bunch with me, but usually I'll use 2 different recorders, like 2 different brand names, to see if one picks up better than the other one, or one picks up something the other one don't. Usually carry a mag light with me, a regular flashlight, and then I'll use a regular digital camera, just for taking pictures.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I have in the past, depending on where we're going and stuff like that, I've set up DVR cameras and let the cameras just roll the whole time we're there. Usually if
Right.
we're doing like a nights or at St. Albans, we go down there, we do a 36-hour investigation. So we have the place for 36 hours.
Holy smoke.
And yeah, we'll hunt the first night. And whenever you start your hunt, leave in the morning whenever you want, go to the hotel, sleep as long, then you come back whenever you want and start the second night. So if I set up recorders, cameras and stuff, as soon as we get there, I'll just let them record till we tear down the second night, because nobody else is allowed in the building. You know, you got it for 36 hours. Now they do
Wow.
have people. They do have people that are staff members that are in there they're in an office. They don't really go through the building because they have people that try and sneak in there and stuff, even if you're in there investigating. So they go around like once an hour. The police patrol around there just to make sure there ain't people there that shouldn't be there.
Wow. So yeah, you
The only
never know what you might catch leaving them cameras run all that time.
Well, the only downside with that, like I set up 4 cameras and they're running for 36 hours, and it's set up where it'll run for 10 minutes, stops for like 5 seconds, starts right back up. And so I got all these 10-minute videos. Well, multiply them by 4 cameras. When you're the one that has to go through all this stuff, it takes forever.
I tell
So I'm
you,
way behind.
I got some of those cameras. I got a couple, and one we leave sitting outside that cell block a lot because it catches so much stuff. But I hear you going through them 10-minute clips, because that's how that one records. And the thing is, it's a long, boring several days going through all them 10-minute clips until you hit something.
What's nice though is there again, if you got, say, a spare hour, you can sit there and go through several 10-minute ones. If you don't get anything, just delete them.
Yep.
But you got to try and make time to do it. Sometimes with working and everything, all the places we're going, I get behind on EVPs. I'm way behind on videos. I don't know if I'll live long enough to catch up with all them.
I got you there. Yeah.
I probably got about 18,000 10-minute videos I need to try and get through.
You might have caught the Holy Grail there, Ray, and you don't even know it.
Well, it's fun. We went 2 years ago. We went to St. Albans and done I always do a 36 hour whenever we get down there, and always set up a mag light, to try to get activity. And the first night, we was not getting anything, and I'm like, what in the heck? Where'd everything go? I've never seen it this day, right? So I was a little upset, and so the next night we went back Sunday, and the minute we got there, flashlight was going off almost every place we went in. We seen a dark mass down in the kitchen, which is in the basement. Seen another one up on the 3rd floor, and sit there and talk. It would appear, disappear, appear, disappear. What it was, I don't know. But anyways, I got back home finally, and I thought, well, I'll start going through these doggone EVPs, right? See if I caught anything. The first night, Saturday night, I had probably 25 EVPs.
Oh my
and here
gosh.
I thought I wasn't getting activity because the flashlight wasn't going off and on. Like, oh man, that's what I get anyways, EVPs. But yeah, so just because one piece of equipment is going off, you never know. You still may be getting other activity, and you don't know till you start going through your recorders and stuff.
I tell you what, speaking about that, when I went and did Waverly Hills Sanitarium, booked that out private, and we were up on that 5th floor there. We were in the psychiatric ward, and across the hall was a children's ward, right? So we're in the psychiatric ward, and we're getting EVPs in there, but we captured a little girl, looks to be a little girl, on film, and we didn't even know she was there. We had one of those Defender cameras, so we had the little monitor with it.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, those cameras are the best cameras. The audio is so sensitive and crisp. But we had a Defender set up there. And it wasn't until one of the people that was with me seen her on the screen. It was pitch black up there, and She was darker than our black shirts. And in the night vision, she was filmed as white because, the black looks white under the night visions, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we've seen her there. We rolled a ball to her. You could see her disappear into the wall and everything. I got a video up on YouTube of that, but we were running around with her up there, and we didn't even know she was there till we was watching the monitor. That was so crazy.
Yeah, usually when I'm looking through them videos, I mean, that's what I'm looking for, is like shadow people and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to focus on everything there to see, like, if something moved a little bit. Now, if it moved a whole lot, I mean, of course, that'd be real obvious.
Right.
But, you're trying to look at everything there. And like I said, I'm mostly looking for shadow people. I like to shoot down the hallway so you can see if something sticks its head out of, different rooms, or if it walks across the hall room, something like that.
Yeah, and to leave those cameras up rolling like that. Yeah, I've caught so much outside that, with that camera sitting outside that cell block. It's just unbelievable. And that's why I run it there all the time.
We went last year's first time, probably the only time in my life this will ever happen. And we were down at the old South Pittsburgh Hospital doing a 2-night hunt. And we were emergency room down there the second night, flashlights going off and on. And so I'm asking questions. And I said, is there more than 10 people here? Nothing. I said, is there more than 5 people here? Nothing. Made the smart ass remark. Say, can you even count to 5? That flashlight went off and on 5 times. We're sitting there laughing our butts off. I'm sure, and I was hoping maybe I got some EVP that said, yeah, I can count to 5.
Yeah.
I didn't EVP, but that's actually on our team page. You can go on there under videos and actually see that happen.
And it's there, so we can take a look, huh? Wow.
Well, the last video I done was at your place, so it'll be the one just before that one, probably the second video that's on there. But yeah, that was cool as heck. Like I said, that'll probably never happen again in my lifetime. But
well, it's time for another short break. So with that, we'll be right back with more Ghost Talk. You're listening to Ghost Talk Radio on WBHM-DB, Birmingham, Alabama.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experienced Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome back to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelly Robertson. And tonight I got a special guest with me, Ray Taylor, and his paranormal team is called Spats. If y'all missed the first part of the show, you just tuning in, no worries. You can catch the full show archive on Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and many, many, many other platforms at your leisure. And before the break, we were just talking about so many interesting places, and we were talking about some of the favorite equipment that Ray likes to use. And I want to know, Ray, how, after your very first ghost hunt, did you get activity during that ghost hunt? Is that what got you into the field?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any equipment at all.
Uh-huh.
And so we had one of the guys that was in there, staff members, was in there with us for the night. So, they were going around with us because, like I said, I didn't know how to do anything, didn't have any equipment or this or that. So, we got different stuff happen and things. And I'm like, oh, man, that's cool as heck. I got to do this more often. And the lady I was doing it with, I mean, she just wanted it once or twice a year. And I'm like, oh, heck, no, that's not enough for me. So,
right.
Got the team together, and I just started booking left and right. And sometimes I'll book 20 to 30 investigations a year. I mean, I can't go enough. I could go every day and not get tired of it. But
I know you book a lot of places. I know that. I know you do. You've been so many places. And I see some of the places, and it's like, that I might want to go to that you're doing. But then I got a hunt at the jail going on, so I can't go.
Well, like I said, any hunt that you see us have booked, you're always welcome to go. Just let me know ahead of time.
Oh yeah. And I know my brother Toby, he would love to go. And last year, prior to, well, it was this beginning of all the COVID stuff. One of our ghost hunting buddies, Lori Dorsey, she happened to book out Ohio State Reformatory, and it just so happened, I mean, and this hardly ever happens when somebody books a really cool place that we're not already doing something. So we did get to go there last year with Lori, and I'm telling you what, I got evidence there that I have never had before. It sounded like, and I got it all recorded, it was freaking me out. It sounded like we were in that cell block, close to that break area room,
Yeah.
And it sounded like going right down the row, all of the doors were being shut, and we could hear the ratcheting, clicking of, it sounded like locks. And the weird part of it is, no doors actually moved. But you could hear it all the way down, go all the way down. And then there was something behind me, and I'm like, okay. So I had said something to one of the guys that was running the place, Greg, and I'm like, I don't even know. That's the weirdest thing that ever happened. He said, that sounds like, yeah, you heard the locking mechanisms on the cell block, So phantom wise, I guess that happens there. And I just was able to experience that and actually recorded it. And it was so crazy. And there is one other instance where we had doors slamming and stuff. And that happened at the jail. And one year, Kat Hobson was there gonna do a show, and that happened in that bottom floor cell block. I mean, there was all kinds of banging and doors slamming and stuff, but you know what? None of the doors physically moved. That was very, very, very bizarre. Have you ever had anything like that happen, Ray? Where it was like something made a big noise, but nothing moved?
Yeah, he's talking about Mansfield. A couple of years ago, we were in the West Cell Block area. And,
Uh-huh.
we're walking down through there, me and two other people. And so, I'm talking to him. I said, you know what? I said, all these prisons, if you read about it, it says most haunted prison in the United States, right? Well,
Uh-huh.
have to be lying. There can only be one most haunted, in the United States. So I just started running my mouth. I said, hey, Mansfield Reformatory. Moundsville said it's the most haunted prison in the United States. I said, you guys need to step your game up and prove them wrong, right?
Yeah.
So later, we're in the West Cell Block. We're up on about the third or fourth tier. We're walking down, and we're going to do an EVP session. So we hear something, noise down the far end.
Uh-huh.
So you hear that, we're talking back and forth. So I'm creeping down there, got my light off, being real quiet. Stop and listen, hear it again. Walk down a little bit further, hear it again, same area. Well, now I'm hearing it above me, below me, back behind me. And buddy with me, he's got his back up against, oh man, they're all around us. I said, they're all around us anyways. They never making noise. Now they are. So hey, step out so I can see you. And of course they didn't. But yeah, that was cool as heck. And I guess maybe they were stepping up their game to prove they was the most haunted prison in the United States. Yeah, that was cool as heck. I love when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, so that was at Mansfield too. Yeah, is that what you said?
That was at Mansfield in the West Cell Block area. Yeah.
Yeah. So
when we get done, I will send you a picture that we took in Mansfield probably 4 years ago. And I ain't going to tell you. I'm going to let you just look at it. You tell me later when you see me or whatever, what you see in the picture.
Okay.
But this was in the East Cell Block on the third or fourth tier where that guy set himself on fire.
Oh.
And one of the girls was in the cell block doing an EVP session. And me and her husband were out in the walkway there, and we're taking pictures, up and down the hallway and stuff. And of course, looking, he didn't see it when we was there. And once he got home, started going through his pictures, and they sent it to me. I'm like, and I didn't see it at first. I see one thing, then another, and I'm like, what in the heck? So yeah, but there again, that's not something that happens all the time. That's, all the times I've been hunting for, like I said, eight years or so, and I've been to probably over 100 places. Sometimes, some of them more than once, and things like that. So actually seeing stuff, it don't happen that often.
Yeah.
So, when you do see it, that might be the only time you ever see that happen, at least, for me. Other people might be different. But, so yeah, when something like that happens, it's like, just like I told you with the flashlight going off and on 5 times. And luckily, Eddie was recording and got it on film. I didn't even know he was recording at the time. But,
wow.
Yeah, sometimes when you see stuff, if you don't have a camcorder going, by the time you get up a camera and take a picture, whatever is there, is gone.
Yeah,
so
you missed it.
It was a personal experience, but not anything that you can show somebody else. Just like when we was at St. Albans and seen them 2 black masses. Now, we didn't have a camcorder going. You couldn't. I don't know if it would have showed up on a camera if you took a picture. But you're sitting in the room and you can just feel or see the whole room start getting darker. All of a sudden, pitch black. And
wow.
Usually you're looking at the wall and you'll see just a black mass right in the center of the wall. You can't see the wall, but on each side of it, you can see the wall plain as day.
Right, right.
And yeah, I don't know what kind of phenomena that is. Whether, I'm just tickled to death. I don't feel threatened. I'm like, oh man, cool. And usually we got a flashlight or something set up and asking questions, it'll go off and on. Pretty soon you notice the room getting lighter, and you look and you can see the whole wall like nothing was there. Pretty soon, same thing.
Yeah, and you know what I found? I have found that I have got night vision cameras running in them blocks all the time, And I have seen the shadow people with my eyes. I can't tell you how many times, lots and lots and lots of times, because that's what it does. It gets so dark and you can't see anything through them. But I will tell you, our night vision cameras do not capture them, but what we found does capture them. You've seen them night vision cameras that looks green, that's got the green filter, the videos look green from it.
Yeah.
Those ones will capture them. Those ones will capture them, and so will any of your thermal cameras, like a FLIR or even your thermal phone app. A thermal camera phone app will capture them. I don't know, the light spectrum isn't right I'm finding with our regular black and white night visions to capture them, and we've captured them in other ways now. And so, I mean, I might have been doing this for a long time, but I'm still learning stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the one thing about the paranormal is nobody knows everything about the paranormal. Most people go by what they've read, their own personal experience. So, you can learn new stuff all the time. It's never ending, the amount of stuff that you learn, and you try and listen to other people, just like you go in a lot of these places. And, I listen to the stories that people tell me, but there again, if you stop and think about it, first of all, you don't know, are they telling you the truth? Are they exaggerating? Mm-hmm. They're here to make money. So are they going to tell you the place isn't haunted? Well, heck no, they're not going to tell you that. So, and you know how, just like with the fish story, how people exaggerate when they say things?
Yes.
So, you just to kind of take it with a grain of salt. Okay, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. And and I get caught up too where, okay, where's the most active? They'll say, well, there's a mean spirit here or there. So, hey, that's where I want to go. Well, I go there and nothing happens to me. I never worry about anything happening. So there again, you don't know whether they were being honest, whether they're exaggerating. If it don't happen to you, sometimes you tend to have to wonder about the story that you were told. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, a little bit so, yeah. So Ray, you got a Facebook page for your team, is that correct?
Yeah, we got a Facebook page. It's called Spats Paranormal. You might have to punch in Lima, Ohio, because it may not find. And we're always posting. I always try and post pictures of the different hunts. Try and do live videos. Last year I wasn't too good at that, but COVID kind of messed up a lot of stuff. So this year I'm going to try and get better at doing live videos so people can actually get on there and watch us.
Yeah.
And if you get on there and like the team page, anytime that we post pictures or if we go live, you should get a notification that, we are going live. So if you want to sit at home, watch, ask questions, and stuff like that, you're more than welcome. You're also more than welcome to go on hunts, but when I post them, I only take a certain amount of people. I'm not going to run 50 people in a place that's only big enough for 5.
Right.
So if you don't get up right off the bat, the spots may be filled, by the time you do.
So for all our listeners out there, if you want to keep track on what Ray's up to, see where his team is going, possibly get in on a private ghost hunt, look him up on Facebook. It's Spats Paranormal, SPATZ, and like their page, and you can keep up on what they're doing, where they're going, and possibly get in on one of those privates. Ray books a lot of them, I know. And I'm going to tell you real quick what we got coming up here at the jail. March 27th, you'll want to check our Facebook out, 187PI, or the website, 187PI.com. We have got Stephen Doogie McDougal from Haunted Live, Ghost Asylum, Haunted Towns. He's going to be at the jail March 27th, along with Jason Hale and Jeremy Lane. And Jason Hale has been on Exorcism Live, and both fellas, Jason and Jeremy, are got the Fearless Forum and the Team Fearless ones. They will be at the jail, Old Paulding Jail, March 27th. We still do have a few tickets left for that. If you guys want to come and hang out and investigate with Doogie, Jason, and Jeremy, you might want to get those because they're like half gone right now already, and we haven't even really started promoting it big time yet. So if you want to come investigate with them, make sure you get your tickets. And what's going on in our lovely, wonderful network at WBHM-DB, we have on Sunday nights, we have Fate Magazine Radio with host Kat Hobson, and on Monday nights, we have the Paranormal Pride Show with Denise Pridemore. On Wednesday nights, we have Paranormal Experienced with host Kat Hobson, and we have, a couple of the other shows. The lineup is great. Go to WBHM-DB.com. Most shows are on at 8 o'clock every night, so you got somewhere to be right here listening to these fantastic shows. I want to thank Ray so much for being a guest on the show tonight. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Oh, yes. And I want to thank all of our listeners for taking time out of your busy schedules to join me tonight. I wish you all a great evening and a happy weekend. Good night, friends.